Fittingly, for what we've experienced thus far in the pattern of Jurassic World content issues specific to the gaming scene, you're seeing a general expansion across the board. I mean, whether it be in the gaming types or perhaps specific gaming content. And that is familiar to many franchises. I've said it many times before that, like, for example, with Jurassic World, many franchises are taking their cinematic properties and transferring them into the video gaming world in part, not only to advertise and gain more money, of course, and followers, but the gaming space is particularly alive for many cinematic and fictional franchises, and Jurassic World has done very well in this space in terms of its properties, I think both on a quality level and a perception level, or reception. Jurassic World Evolution 2, I felt, has the same quality issued from many other previous releases, including the first installment of the game series, and this really is a series now. Again, at first, when Jurassic World Evolution 2 came out, I was surprised it was getting a second expansion, because I thought the first game's scope was expansive enough to include perhaps future updates, but having seen the game, it's definitely an evolved vision. For me, as I've said many times, I love the scope of it. I love the fact that there is such an environmental diversity in regards to creating your Jurassic World campus, and I certainly have my sights set on for when I acquired the game, forging my own within a winter climate. I thought that was such a beautiful atmosphere and very different from the movies, other than in consideration, I guess, of the last release with Dominion, which I haven't seen yet. I still need to. I've covered the trailers at this point, though. It looked like an exquisite film, and it did very well financially, even though maybe the quality was kind of wary from different audience members across the board. The idea of creating your own Jurassic World, I don't tend to play too many creator games that often, but the idea of creating your own campus in unusual climate, at least from what's pertinent for most of the franchise, like with a winter scene, I thought that was great. And the scope of what I've seen thus far of the Jurassic World Evolution brand is very expansive. And again, like many other releases, you have these subsequent content updates to continue adding reception to the game, in particular with the Jurassic World Evolution brand. I mean, the first game got many content expansions, and so was this one, because now we have the Dominion Biosyn expansion. This is obviously following off the events of the original release that just came out last summer. And I believe on part of this release, I'm looking at this right, you get 3 dinosaurs. I now know how to navigate this, by the way. I made a mistake in this in the past. In some cases, the adverts have not advertised the names of the dinosaurs, but they are advertised on the channel. So I believe as part of this expansion, you're getting the Pyroraptor, the Quetzalcoatlus, and the Therizinosaurus. Again, I'm no dinosaur expert by name in regard to what it's referring to, but the dinosaurs of which it's spotlighting, I think, have a very unique presentation to them. The Pyroraptor being my favorite. I love the design of that. Still, the feather pattern is quite amazing. I have, in terms of invention, I have 2 trailers pulled up for this in regard to the announcement and launch trailers, and I'll feed one from the other. We'll start with the announcement, fittingly, but let's get a good idea for what these dinosaurs look like in-game. I mean, again, I think as far as what the films have produced, that Pyroraptor really is just exquisite, but let's see how they look here. Even creating a Jurassic World campus in the night, I would be fine with in terms of environment. But I'd love to see it again in winter. See, I think this one's just beautiful. Is that the Fez one or whatever it was called? I forgot the name. What was the reference to it? Let me see. The Therizinosaurus. I think that would be. And then the other one, I'm guessing, was. But how many didn't look like? Did the Quetzalcoatlus have the long fingernails? I remember that from the advertisement in the movie. It was that dinosaur was marketed very well. The Pyroraptor still is my favorite. Maybe the launch trailer will give us a better look at that. Are there 4 dinosaurs or 3? Because again, I thought the Quetzalsaurus and the one with the Quetzalcoatlus and the long fingernail one were separated. Not exactly sure now. Maybe this will offer some collaboration. Or clarification, that's what I mean.
Do you remember the first time you saw a dinosaur? You never really believe it. They're like myths.
See, this one just looks beautiful. I mean, the desert one is fine,
they're
too.
in our world, and everything's changed.
But I absolutely want to create an environment here in terms of Jurassic Park landscape. I would love to create that in the winter climate. Just beautiful. I'm a sucker. It's my favorite season, really. Although the traditional is fine, too.
We have to learn to coexist. It won't be easy.
have a whole flock of Pyroraptors running around. That's great. You're not just limited to one. You also have the Biosyn buildings, okay.
But if we avoid the mistakes of our past, we can enter a new era together.
I'm assuming you get 4, and I just didn't see the name for this one. Because I think that's the Frizzo, whatever it was. Saurus something. I mean, again, I love the scope of this game, and the idea, you know, again, I haven't played too many creator games in my experience, but this one seems pretty fun. Again, adding in the Jurassic World integration. I think, you know, these games have obviously, it's done well enough to warrant a sequel, maybe just because of the franchise's presence in regard to its continued evolution of different dinosaur species. But it's a lot of fun in terms of the idea of materializing your own Jurassic World Park and placing all these dinosaurs in. The Quetzalcoatlus look beautiful as well, but my favorite is still the Pyroraptor. And you can have a whole fleet if you want. Is that what you call them, a fleet? I don't know. But they're beautiful. I mean, again, I find that particular dinosaur to be my favorite. But, you know, to each their own. Perhaps you have a different, you know, feeling on one or the other. I think, again, it's a quite exquisite, you know, presentation from what I am seeing. Or I guess, you know, now looking at the Pherizinosaurus is the long fingernailed one. So maybe it's, well, they have that one dinosaur at the end, like the Tyrannosaurus looking one. Maybe that's a different type. Well, I mean, that's a Tyrannosaurus, but what's the other one? They advertised that in the last trailer, too. It made it look like it was his own dinosaur. Maybe that's free. So the Pherizinosaurus is the long fingernail one. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, and look, yeah, that is the same one. I'm definitely more excited, I would say, for the Pyroraptor. I mean, at one point I will get to play this game again when it gets discounted at least somewhere. I've been trying to acquire it for a little bit, and it's just, everywhere I look, it's still a bit of a high price. But, and then I'm still making my decision on, you know, do I want to buy this for my current Xbox One? Well, can you play it on both? Is this one of those that you could play it on either the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X, or do you have to buy a special edition for it? I'm not exactly sure on that front. I'd have to look deeper on that, but I haven't bought my new console yet. So that's another consideration if the game isn't available for a dual play on whichever console you have at the time. What are your guys' thoughts, though, with that update? And what do you feel is your favorite dinosaur? Maybe you agree with me that it's the Pyroraptor. Again, I just find that dinosaur to be so exquisite in terms of its feather pattern. I think it's very beautiful. But you might like the Pherizinosaurus or the Quetzalcoatlus. It's too many names to remember. I mean, it's going to be a dynamic park with that expansion, I'm sure. I'd love to hear your thoughts, Demo, which is your favorite, and maybe which climate you'd love to see these dinosaurs run around in. Again, like I said, I got my eyes set immediately on the winter one. 100%. That's where I'm building my park as soon as I get the game, and I'm definitely putting a lot of Pyroraptors in. But it's quite beautiful, I think. Again, like I said, in terms of the update, the dinosaurs are very well realized from what they're presented as in the movies. And fittingly, you know, like many of our franchises, Jurassic World continues to expand its presence in the gaming space. It makes complete sense in the evolution of franchises again into the gaming world and creators utilizing that industry way more heavily. And again, it's happening on a very broad respect. It's happened for many years. But especially in the case of Jurassic World, it feels like this space is quickly getting dominated by new stories, especially since there maybe won't be any new movies for a while. I mean, I don't know, this might be where the Jurassic World property is transitioning to. And I think of like Jurassic World Evolution 2, there's a lot of range to the creativity that could make for a good transition in that waiting period for new stories. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.